Let's now look at an example. We're going to use Desmos to create a table and a graph of a function. We're going to consider the function y equals 5 minus 2x. I'm going to use Desmos to complete the table below. Desmos is an online graphing calculator, basically. It's a little bit more than a graphing calculator, though. To get to it, you can either type in www.desmos.com/calculator. We're going to just go straight to it from here. But you can just do a Google search for Desmos and it will come up. So here is what Desmos looks like. You have your graphing space over here. Over here, you have your space to type in your equations. So we're going to start off by typing an equation. We're going to go into the number 1 spot there. We're going to have y1, and you just type 1, it automatically makes it a subscript, equals 5 minus 2x. And we now want to create a table. So we're going to click in the number 2 spot. That just moves us down to number 2. Then you click the little plus thing to add an item, and you're going to add a table. The table came in with an x2. We don't want it to be any x, so we're going to just get rid of the x. I mean, the subscript, just make it x. And then the y, we're going to want it to be y1, not y2. So we got y1 and x. Now you can type in the actual values we want to look for. If you go back to your Word document, you can see we want to look at 0, 3, 7, 9, 12. So we could just type those in Desmos. So I could just come over here and type in 0, then type in 3, and then 7, then 9, then 12. And you'll give those all values that you wanted. You can also, if you get rid of those, if you'd rather get more values, you can do 0, then type in 1, and then 2, and then 3, and so forth all the way up. If you do a new table, it will actually just type those in there for you. But we want just the 0, the 3, the 7, the 9, and the 12. All right, so we now know what those are. When x is 0, y is 5. When x is 3, y is -2. When x is 7, y is -9. When x is 9, y is -13. And when x is 12, y is -19. So we can now go back to our Word document and we can type those values in there. Your 5, then your, I've already forgotten my numbers, but you can type all those numbers in there. Go back. If you forgot the numbers, just go back in. You can see what these were, -1. So -1, -9, -12. I believe that was. We'll go back real quickly. I'm sorry, -13, and then -19. Now you can use these dots if you wanted to plot this, but we're going to actually use Desmos to sketch this graph for us. We actually notice we already have that. It already did it for us. Notice over here you have your graph. This is known as the home window for Desmos. And so this is the one we're going to use. If you want, you can change the color of your lines. If you don't like the default, you can actually turn the line off. You can click and hold on that squiggly looking thing, and you can change the color. So if you'd rather have a blue line, you can change it to blue or green, whatever color you'd like to have. You can also change how thick you want it, or if you want it dashed or more dashed. And you can also change the thickness if you wanted to. But we're just going to go ahead with that. So we've got our line, and there's our line. And you can actually share the graph, or you can just do a screenshot and then put it into your space. So if you wanted to, you could do a screenshot and then plot that right in here. If we want to use it to sketch that graph again, but this time use a different window, we want to go from 0 to 3 on the X and 0 to 5 on the Y. Going back to Desmos. If you come over here to the graph, you can see there's a little thing that looks like a wrench, and that's your graph settings. So if you click on that wrench, you can now change your X's to go from 0 to 3, and your Y's to go from 0 to 5. And there's what your graph looks like. You click that wrench again, it will go away, and now you can see what the graph looks like. Again, you can do a screen capture. You can also just sketch it if you'd want to. but a screen capture might be better to just put that in there. And that's how we do that. If you want to go back to the home window, you can click on the little house there and it'll change it to the default zoom. And